As with most pieces of BOKER line, the SCHANZ is a dagger design in cooperation with a knife maker and designer SCHANZ. And as with some pieces of the over 1000 knives BOKER offers, it is a wonderful piece. Daggers have an image of their own, and they project it. It might be the fact that they are knives designed way out of context for today's standards, because, let's face it, they are purely fighting knives. And with the advent of technology of today, fighting itself has become a lot more humanized. Killing is a lot easier and a lot less messy than a couple hundred years ago. So for most of the people thinking about hand-to-hand knife combat, it is just hard to imagine. You can train soldiers for hours to use a bayonet, and when the time comes, they don't even believe the order they are receiving, as reported to be happening in the Falklands War. And about only 2% of the soldiers, according to Colonel Grossman in On Killing, are able to do hand-to-hand combat. Well, people talk about balance on daggers, as if they were going to use them daily for fighting. Well, balance is important for machetes, because when you use them all day long. Daggers are another story. The BOKER SCHANZ is a full-size 7-inch, obviously double-edged dagger, and in fact it is machined from a huge piece of steel. Here you can see the BOKER bolt, and it is a very impressive knife for sure. But the fact that SCHANZ made a dagger out of an even bigger block of steel puts the dagger in a class of its own. Here are some daggers, as well as some trench knives. The authority of the 7mm full profile tank is unique, and when you handle it, it does feel a bit heavy, but it doesn't matter at all. The blade still rotates fast, and it feels more comfortable than in any other dagger, or even a trench knife. There has to be a use for the heavy handle pommel, of course, and the well-fixed micarta, both in conjunction, offer a very efficient hammering tool. Well, there has to be some bad things that people report. For most people, it is a heavy knife, and they are not wrong, it is a tank, but you get what you pay for. Well, sheath is not a big deal either, because it doesn't hold the same design language as the dagger, but who cares about the sheath when you have a dagger machine out of a forged single block of steel? As a matter of fact, this knife is made so you don't care about anything anymore when you're carrying it. Of course, there are good things about it. It certainly is heavy, but for us, lovers of well-made knives, the SCHANZ is a good option for a dagger. In fact, it's the tank of all daggers, and it actually is a lot more of a utility knife than all daggers. There is a lot you can do with the brick of a handle this knife has. In my opinion, it is just insanely ridiculous to discuss the aesthetics of this knife, just because the challenging engineering design you will not find on any other knife. At least I haven't. Well, I know this knife is more likely to end up hung on a wall or a collector's shelf, but it doesn't matter. The engineering and the technical display on fabrication of this piece deserves to be seen. But I believe it deserves the faith of a true paring knife, and that is to be a faithful companion for life. And I clearly picture myself some 20 years down the road with the SCHANZ on my belt, ready either to peel an orange, to break a knot open with that heavy handle, or to do what a paring knife does best, and that is to defend myself in a last resort situation. Well, that's my opinion. Why don't you drop us a line with yours?